Story time on how our best friend got with both of our boyfriends in one night. Okay, so we were all getting ready for a party, like me, her, and this girl, let's call her Melissa, and our boyfriends.
Melissa was being like really touchy with both of our boyfriends the whole time. Like, we were like,
so the Uber was like an XL, and she literally pushed both me and her to the back seats, like the ones that you have to like pop up in the trunk, and then she sat in the middle of our boyfriends.
Yep.
Then we get to the party, and it was like really fun until one of our other really good friends like got really sick, and she was like in the bathroom like the whole time. So we were like low-key like taking care of her, and we started thinking like, wait, like where is Melissa?
But we didn't really think much about it until our friend came in and told us something really crazy.
She told us that her boyfriend was getting with Melissa in the basement bedroom.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, she's pissed. I'm mad too. At this point, her boyfriend had already ordered an Uber for us to like all go back to my house. So we were like, okay, like free Uber, we're still gonna get in it. So he came too, which was like so dumb. Like, what are you doing? So then we get back to my house, and it's all 5 of us.
Yeah.
And she's like yelling at her boyfriend.
I was like crying, and
I was like trying to like be the middleman, like trying to help a little bit, like calm her down a little bit, because it's just like we're all like, and then that's happening, and then I'm like, wait, where's Melissa and my man? Like, what's going on? And we like search the whole house for them, and guess where we find them? In my bed.
Her own bed, bro.
And Melissa's literally like on top of him. I drag her ass out of there. I'm like, I'm never talking to you again. Like, you crazy ass bitch. I kick all 3 of them out. Her boyfriend, my boyfriend, and Melissa. I didn't talk to Melissa for a few days, but she texted us yesterday, and she was like, guys, I'm like so sorry. Like, I would never do that again. Like, I'm coming right now to the beach, because we're at my beach house. And I'm like, we're going to work this out, blah, blah, blah.
Because she was supposed to come to the beach with us, and we were like, don't come back.
No, you're not coming now. And knowing Melissa, she is the type to, like, come. Like, she's definitely coming.
Yeah.
She checked her Snap map, and she's, like, 30 minutes away. So that's low-key, like, what we're getting ready for right now. So I'm going to beat that bitch up. If you guys an update, if you want one.
We also broke up with our boyfriends because, obviously.
Like, after that, we're living the single life. Like, that is...
And she's probably texting them.
So, yeah. Let us know if you want an update. She's literally 10 minutes away.
Story time about how I caught my boyfriend cheating on me off of his sister's phone. The first thing I'm going to say is he's not my boyfriend no more, and this did happen like a year ago. So me and my boyfriend at the time were totally fine with each other, like nothing bad happened, anything. But I kept getting this weird feeling that there was another girl, and I did say that to my mum 2 weeks before I found out there was another girl. Me and him had each other's Snap logins, but he did have another account which he told me that he deleted. Anyways, the day I found out, me and him must have been walking to his house, and I said to him like, oh, have you heard from so-and-so recently? On about the girl. And he was like, oh no, I haven't heard from her. And I was just like, okay, because I thought he wouldn't lie to me, so yeah. Bear in mind, this is one of his girl best friends. So I leave it as that. Me and him go into his bedroom and put the TV on. While he's putting his TV on, I see a phone light up from the drawer. I have never seen this phone in my whole entire life. So I go onto the phone, I guess the password, and I see his old Snap logins logged in to his sister's phone. He's then trying to take the phone off of me, and I've gone onto Snap and I've seen him sending to this girl and saving each other snaps and chat and everything. So I then call this girl off of his phone. I can't remember the conversation, so I'm not going to say the conversation because I don't want to say it if I get it wrong. All I can remember was her trying to say that they're just friends and all of this, and I'm like, friends don't save each other snaps and chat and send to each other. This boy has then went and told me that she was helping him with his English homework. Bearing in mind, I'd done his English homework for him 2 days before. Maybe Natural Curve Case is my new favourite makeup product at the moment. Anyways, me and him must have started arguing with each other. He then started bawling his eyes out, telling me he loves me, he's sorry, and they was just talking about homework. So I walked out of his house. I was bawling my eyes out at this point as well. I walked out of his house, and he lives like on a hill, and basically my old school, the way people would walk home is they would walk down through the woods and I'd walk up the hill from his house to get back from his house. And school had just finished, so it was around like 3:30. I have seen loads of his friends walking down while I'm walking up, and I'm bawling my eyes out, proper bawling my eyes out. Then I called my best friend Lily, and she was on a bus as well. She actually stopped the bus, got off the bus and walked and met me. So me and him broke up, and I texted his mum because me and his mum was quite close when I was with him. So I texted his mum, like, thanking her for everything she ever done for me. And then I also said that, like, he needs a bit of help with things and everything. He's then went and told everybody that I said to his mum that he sells drugs. Those words never left my mouth. But that's sort of the story done. But he did also go around saying that I cheated on him first, and that's why he cheated on me, which that's not what happened. My highlighter all just fell out everywhere. I've tried to like pack it all in, but this is literally like my favourite highlighter. I won't use any other highlighter. I can't remember where I got it from. Also, this boy also cheated on me when he went on holiday, denied it all. Then I got pictures of him kissing other girls on holiday, sent them to him, and that's when he admitted to it. But that's a whole other story time if you want that.
Okay, this is a TMI story time, so if you're not ready for the TMI, keep scrolling. And this is for the girls only, by the way. Okay, so now that the girlies are here, I need to tell y'all the story time because I need to rant because I'm feeling insane right now. So I'm going to keep this long story short. So long story short, I've been talking to this guy. We've been talking for over a month, whatever. I've known him for years, but we just started talking in that way recently, the past month. So I decided to bring up this conversation with him because the conversation was the last time that we were together, I asked him to eat and he was hesitant about it. He acted like he was scared. I don't know. He was acting weird. So the Gemini that I am, I decided to bring it up out of nowhere. And he explained to me how he was like, oh, I don't really do that with people that I'm not really comfortable with like that. Like I have to really be fucking with you, whatever. Keep in mind, I'm thinking like, bitch, you don't fuck with me? Like the fuck? But he was just explaining himself, whatever. And he ends up saying like, oh, but now that you say that, I want to try it like with you. Like I want to do that. And I was like, when? He was like, right now. So in my mind, I'm thinking right now, okay, well, it's nothing but a word, but okay. So long story short, we get done doing the do. And, I go to the bathroom because as we know, as women, we have to go pee after whatever the case may be. So I go pee, I come out, he goes into the bathroom, we trade places, whatever. I see my underwear on the ground on full display. I mean, fully open, like fully on display, y'all. I'm looking at it and I see that I was spotting. I did just finish my period. My period ended like 2 days ago, but sometimes I spot after that, whatever. We fucking know, we're girls, whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my fucking God. This man basically just ate cat for the first time for me. Like, not for the first time, but like, he doesn't really do that, which is, first of all, that's weird as fuck. I feel like we're grown as fuck. The fact that you don't really eat cat, like, bitch, you're weird. Like, we're grown as fuck. Like, that's part of sex. Like, what are we doing? But in my mind, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like, my underwear is on full display. I was spotting. This is this man's first time, like, really just like eating cat like that, right? So I immediately start feeling some type of way, which first of all, I shouldn't be feeling some type of way because I'm a woman. Women, we have shit like that. Sorry, not sorry. We spot, we have discharge, all the things. Okay, whatever. But at the same time, even in my grown ass age, I'm like, oh my fucking God. Like, I basically turned this man out and I'm in the bathroom. He's staring at my underwear thinking like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? But the whole time I'm just spotting because I just ended my period. So he comes out the bathroom and I'm immediately trying to explain. I'm like, oh, like, oh my God, I was spotting. I didn't even know. And he was trying to act cool about it. He was like, oh, I didn't taste it, whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, okay, thank God. I'm like basically trying to gauge, if he saw it, if he didn't, if he felt some type of way, whatever. And he acted like he was cool. And then all of a sudden he was like, yeah, but like, I gotta go because of, X, Y, and Z. So as soon as he was like, oh, I gotta go, I immediately was like, bro, are you about to leave because of what happened? Like, what, you know, it's like, don't be fucking weird. Like, we're grown as fuck. But, like, it's the fact that he, like, I don't want to say he made up an excuse because it was valid, but at the same time, I just felt like it was very fishy that it was right after, and I feel like he saw it, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, being a woman is amazing. I would hate being a man. I would literally want to walk in oncoming traffic if I was a man. But at the same time, it's just like, fuck. Like, there's so much shit that goes on with us that it's really hard to explain. And if a man is not in tune with women, he would have no idea. And so now I'm feeling some type of way because it's like, oh my God, like, was he not in tune? Like, does he not know? Like, is he feeling weird about it? Like, what the I'm just laughing at myself because it's just like the fact that you basically turn this man out. This man was basically like, I'm gonna try it for you. And then as soon as he try it, now he look at your underwear and you spot it. Like, bitch. Yeah, being a woman is great, but it also fucking sucks.
Story time, I lost my virginity and my mom caught me. Y'all, I was so embarrassed. I was young as fuck. Like, I was like 15, 16. I was just about to turn 16 because I ruined my 16th birthday by getting caught. Me and my boyfriend, we had been dating for like 7-8 months, and we finally decided we was gonna get freaky. And it was like the worst timing ever. Like, my mom worked night shifts on a day-to-day basis, and we chose the one day like she was not going to work. And I did not tell her he was coming over, nothing. So we come up with this plan. He goes and gets the protection, because I'm not going for none of that shit. Be damned if I have me a motherfucking kid. Y'all, and this man was being so fucking sweet. Like, he brought me food, he brought me flowers, he brought stuff. But no, like, he was just being so sweet to me. And I don't know where this clip went, but this is very important. He left his sandals outside in the garage. This is my sister, y'all. We were laid up in my bed. And I don't know what possessed us, but we were both like, let's get in the shower. We fucked up. Like, we fucked up. So, we get in the shower, and I just get like the most bad feeling in my stomach. I'm like, let me check my phone and see if my mama text me. Alright, y'all, part 2.
Get ready with me while I tell you about my insane freshman year suite mate. So I filmed some of this and it literally cut out the audio completely, so we're just going to start from where I am now. So just to preface, I had a room completely by myself. I had no roommate, just the suite mate. Also, another thing to preface, I'm in a singing traveling ensemble that travels every single weekend. This weekend, I was going to be in Texas. Now, we got back from Texas at 3 a.m. and I had a theory exam at 8. So you best believe I got home and I went to sleep. And I woke up saying, I'm not going to get all cute. I'm literally going to an 8 a.m. theory exam. Why would I do that? So this morning, I decided to wear a sweatshirt that I literally haven't worn in forever, and these sweatpants that I wore on Friday, the day that I left. So I go in the closet looking for that sweatshirt, like, oh, it's going to be in here because I literally haven't worn it in forever. Nowhere to be found. I literally can't find it. And I live in the town where my college is, so I'm like, I probably just took it home and washed it or something. Or my best friend took it and wore it while I was gone. That's fine, whatever, she does it all the time. So I grab another sweatshirt and I'm like, it's fine, I'll wear a different sweatshirt, whatever. Then I go to look for the sweatpants I wore on Friday, remember? On Friday, the day that I left. And what do I not see? If you guessed the sweatpants, you're right. At this point, I'm just really confused. So I text my best friend and I'm like, hey, did you wear my sweatpants? Because, like, they were in here on Friday and they're not now. And she said, no, I haven't seen them, I haven't worn them. And I really don't have time to deal with this at this point, so I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm going to class. I get up, I take my exam, everything is fine, then I go to lunch. And I am just puzzled. I could not think of one place where these things could be. And one of my friends at lunch is like, what if someone took them? This had not played in my head just because, like, I don't know, it's just not something that I would assume would happen. I attend a Christian university, so, like, I would assume everyone's Christian. My bad for assuming. I'm sorry. Okay, that was a little shady. You can be Christian and mess up. Anyway, so someone starts asking me, where have you checked? They say, you need to check Ellie's room, you need to check your house, you need to check everywhere. Have you checked your suite mate's room? And I was like, no, like, I don't really know them. I don't know about that. And they said, you might as well just check. Like, just check. So I go back and I'm like, okay, let me just knock on their door. Let me just see. I knock and no one answers. And maybe this is where I should have stopped, but I didn't, and thank God. So I open the door. Just open it. That's all I do. And what do I see on the ground? Take a guess. Take a little guess. Yeah, go ahead. The sweatshirt that I was gonna wear. So of course I walk into the room and I'm like, let me just make sure that this is mine, because what if it's hers? What if she has the same sweatshirt? It was mine. It was mine, and let me tell you how I know. I used to be a little bit of a bigger girl, and so all of the clothes that I wore were like large, extra large. And this girl is not an extra large at all. She's like my size now or smaller. And the sweatshirt's an extra large, which I know people buy things oversized, but I just knew in my heart, this is my sweatshirt. And when I pick up the sweatshirt, which I had already done at this point, but I noticed something that fell. Okay, I know we've been playing a guessing game this whole time, but you guys aren't gonna guess. You're not gonna guess what fell when I picked up the sweatshirt. Clothes I didn't know were missing. Now I'm livid. I'm done. Like, oh, I start kind of going crazy. I open her closet, and what's in there? Literally all of my clothes. All of them hung up. Clothes upon clothes that were mine that are hung up in her closet. So what do I do but lock the door and start going through her everything? I go through every drawer. I go through every single dirty clothes pile, whatever it is. I go through all of her clothes and find everything that is mine. And I take it all and I put it in my room and I just take a shower because I need to decompress. And I fear I have to go, and I know that people hate this, but I have to do a part 2. There's way too much to the story to fit it in one video, so just hang on tight. There will be a part 2. Don't fret.
Okay, so this is part 2 on how I hid my pregnancy for the entire 9 months from my parents, my family, and my friends. Okay, so after I finished showing my sister and my boyfriend the positive pregnancy test, I basically told them, okay, so there's either 2 things I'm gonna do here. I'm either gonna hide the pregnancy or I'm gonna have an abortion. And I was leaning towards the abortion because I was really scared. Growing up, my parents would always remind us, like, if you guys get fucking pregnant, you guys are out of my house, you guys are getting kicked out, and you guys are getting no help. And growing up, watching La Rosa de Guadalupe, they would always watch that shit, turn to us, and tell us, if this happens to you, you get pregnant, you're gonna be out of my house. And basically, like, it was so much threats on threats on threats. So they were very fucking strict, and I was fucking scared. So I was basically leaning towards abortion. I was like, I'm gonna fucking abort because I don't want my parents to fucking find out. I don't go to no clinics. I don't go to basically anything because I'm procrastinating. I'm scared. I'm just like, fuck, if I go to the fucking clinic, my parents' numbers are linked to them. And if they get a call and they tell them, they find out, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get kicked out. So I was so scared. So basically, I procrastinated going to any appointments. I didn't go to any appointments the entire 9 months, by the way. And so as I'm procrastinating, I forget that to get an abortion, there's, I think, a 12-week period where you can get an abortion. And after that, I don't know what the fuck happens after that. So I'm just letting weeks and weeks and weeks go by. And I finally tell my boyfriend, okay, we need to go to Planned Parenthood and do something about this. We go to Fresno, we go to Planned Parenthood, and they basically tell me, girl, you're 22 weeks pregnant. The baby already has arms and legs. So if you want to get an abortion before the 24-week period, you're going to have to stay at a UC, I think it was a college, for 3 days to get the abortion done. Like, we're going to have to pull the baby out of you. Pause. I'm like, what the fuck? I look at my boyfriend and I'm like, dude, we fucked up. We procrastinated way too long, so I'm going to have to keep the baby. I'm going to have to keep it. Side note, I was working the full entire pregnancy. The first half, I was working at Jack in the Box. And the other half, I was working in the fields with my parents and my boyfriend. Okay, I remember the week before I gave birth, me and my boyfriend caught COVID. And we were very, very sick. So for an entire week, we didn't go to work. Which is crazy because I feel like God does things for a reason. Because specifically this day, both my parents were working. My brother had went to school. It was just my sister and my boyfriend, right? I wake up, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I tell my boyfriend, I think today I'm gonna give birth. Like, I just had a feeling, like, it was like intuition. And so I told him, I'm gonna go shower just in case. As I'm in the fucking shower, my water breaks. And all I see is like light pink fluid, like run down my legs, and it was like going through the water. I was in so much pain, I couldn't even fucking walk. My sister calls my boyfriend. He comes home. He picks me up and he carries me to the car, takes me to the hospital. When I'm at the hospital, the ladies there are not very fucking helpful. They're not very fucking helpful. So they're looking at me fucking crazy, like, this bitch is not. She's lying. Like, she's not gonna give birth. Like, I was telling them I'm in labor. I think I'm in labor. My water broke and all this shit, and they're looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. They're looking at me like, okay, whatever. Like, everyone always says this, no, and women usually think they're going into labor and they're not really going into labor. I'm like, bitch, like, I'm fucking angry. They're over here making me sign papers and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I am gonna give birth right fucking now. Like, this kid is coming right now. Okay, fast forward, everything gets situated. They fucking check me. They're like, oh, you're actually 9 centimeters dilated. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking know. Like, and I really wanted the epidural. I was like, fuck. But I was already 9 centimeters dilated. And I just remember the doctor was like, no, you're already 9 centimeters dilated. That's too late. You can't get the epidural. And I was fucking crying. I was having a fucking meltdown. I was like, okay, whatever. Fast forward, I give a birth to my baby. Side note, me and my boyfriend, during the entire 9 months, we already knew we were having a boy. No one told us. Obviously, we didn't go to no clinic, at Planned Parenthood. They didn't tell us what we were having. But I just remember me and him vividly were like, it's a boy. As soon as I finished pushing and the baby's out, the doctor, the nurse, pulls the baby, and she's all like, it's a boy. And me and my boyfriend look at each other, and I'm like, I fucking told you. I knew it. I knew it was a boy. Okay, now time for the fucking scary part, guys. So I get a text from my dad, and my dad's basically telling me, like, where are you guys? I text him back, telling him, like, oh my god, are you gonna be mad? We're at the hospital. And he's very anxious, so he calls me, and I decline his call. I swipe up, and he texts me again. He's like, please answer, because I need to know if you guys are okay. Did you guys get in a car accident? Like, what happened? I don't say anything. He calls me back. I answer this time, and I'm like, are you gonna be mad? And he's like, no, what happened? Tell me, where are you guys at? Did you guys get in a car accident? Are you guys okay? He said, I remember him saying, like, I don't care about the car, just tell me if you guys are okay. And I remember telling him, okay, can I text you then? And he tells me, like, okay, but hurry up, because my heart is coming out of my chest, please. So then I fucking text him a picture, and the picture was of, I'm gonna insert the picture I sent him, guys. So I sent him the picture, no context, and he fucking calls me. And I'm fucking, at this point, I'm like, I have like fucking tears running down my face. I'm like, fuck, like, the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I say? I answer, and he tells me, estamos embarazadas. And he tells me all this shit, like, you know how Mexican dads are, you know? And he starts cussing at me, starts telling me all this shit. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck to say. I don't even remember. Like, I think that it was so traumatic that my brain blocked that shit out. I don't even remember what happened after that. I just remember my mom took over the phone. Because I remember vividly hearing my mom's voice through the phone. And she's telling me, like, is that your baby? Did you have a baby? You hid this from us? She honestly sounded more disappointed in me than angry. My dad was so angry. I remember my sister texting me, like, oh, my dad wanted to beat everyone up. He barged in the room asking if they knew about it. And obviously they denied. To this day, they don't know that my sister was the only one that knew. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do a part 3 for other little details.
2 weeks ago, a man attacked me on the beach and put me in the hospital. My friends and I were getting dinner at Fresco Grill in Carlsbad Village, which, if you don't know, is a super safe area. After dinner, we decided to go down to the water and sit on a lifeguard tower just to hang out at the beach. These 2 kids, probably like 12 years old, came riding by on e-bikes, like down on the sand in front of us. I put way too much concealer on. They were literally like 12 years old. They stopped riding their bikes in front of us, and they're all, hey ladies, like just being super funny little kids. Not even like 2 seconds later, this drunk guy from out of nowhere comes walking up and he starts yelling at the kids. He's like, you guys, slurring his words, you guys aren't allowed to ride those bikes on this beach. Like, you wouldn't do that if there was a lifeguard here. You better get off your bikes, get off your bikes. Just like yelling at them. And we were all like, whoa, like, calm down. So we tried to like make light of the situation. We were like, haha, like, it's fine, they're fine. Even we're like, these are my little brothers, like, leave them alone, they're fine. So he scares them off so badly they end up leaving, and I was like, great, now we're stuck here alone with this guy. Not that I was like counting on two 12-year-olds to do any like protecting, but it was still comforting to like have other people there. So the boys leave and we're sitting on top of the lifeguard tower. This man is standing at the bottom of the ladder, like blocking the bottom of the ladder. He's obviously drunk, slurring his words, holding a beer can or like a tall boy of some sort. Like I said, he was obviously drunk, and a lot of the things he was saying wasn't even making any sense, and it was making us feel uncomfortable, and we didn't know how to like act. So at first we're like trying to laugh it off because we feel weird, and if you are a woman and you've ever been in an uncomfortable situation with a guy, a lot of the times all you feel like you can do is like laugh it off. He really did not like my friend Kaylee, who was sitting to my left. She's sitting directly at the top of the stairs. I'm in the middle, and then my friend Abby's to my right. She was kind of making jokes and laughing at him when I would say, leave us alone, go away, because he wasn't leaving us alone. He wasn't going away. So I kept being like, all right, dude, like, have a good night. We're not trying to have a conversation with you. Like, go away. You're making us feel weird, blah, blah, blah. To which, of course, he starts saying things like, this is what's wrong with women. You guys don't know how to have normal, logical conversations. And I was like, dude, we're not trying to have a conversation with you. Like, have a good night. Go away. He did not like that. He starts getting even more aggressive. And once again, I tell him to leave us alone. And he takes a step up onto the ladder and says, oh, yeah, or what? Or what? And it wasn't just one step up, like he was trying to scare us and like make a point or whatever. He was coming up that ladder and he wasn't stopping. My friend Kaylee, the one that's sitting at the top of the ladder, she puts her foot out and she's like, don't come up here. Everything's happening so quickly. We're all saying, stop, leave us alone, get down, get back. Kaylee quickly takes her foot back because we're all afraid he's gonna like grab her. She's scooting back on her butt. He's coming up the ladder, and at this point, she's scooting back. He's basically standing over her at this point. And that's when I got in the middle of them and I said, dude, get back. Don't come up here. And he says, oh yeah, or what, one more time. Grabs my jacket and chucks me off the top of the lifeguard tower. Chucks me. So I fall right onto my head and my ribs on the sand, which resulted in a collapsed right lung, meaning my right lung separated from the rib cage and air got in between my lung and my ribs. I thought I had for sure broken a rib, maybe even my collarbone, because everything was just not where it was supposed to be sitting. So I fall, quick bright flash of light, and that's how I knew, crap, I just hit my head really hard. I don't really know how I landed. I landed somehow like this, I think. Even this hurts really bad still. The guy starts running away. My friend Kaylee goes after him. She's trying to record him and she's like, don't you dare try to leave. We already called the cops. Like, you're not gonna get away with this. She's taking pictures of him, to which he starts bumping his chest into her and putting his hands on her again. So then she's like, oop, I can't be alone over here with you. She comes back over to the group. I remember laying on my back and the guy coming back over and like standing over me. And I just remember him like staring at me and going like this and like talking to some other guy. Long story short, he ends up getting away. There weren't really any men around. There were just like younger, maybe high school boys. I was in the hospital for 4 days. 4 days? Yeah, I was on the 3rd and I left on the 5th of July. I'm still in pain. I still can't like sleep comfortably. My arm was in a sling as of just a few days ago. This was not a fun healing process. My family ended up posting those photos we took of him that night, and posted it on their socials asking if anyone recognized him, to which someone did. So we did find out who he is. Worst 4th of July of my life. We also found out that this is not the first time he has attacked a girl. I've read a few people on Facebook that had recognized him saying that he specifically targets women-owned businesses like hair salons. One lady had him walk in through their back door and ask like, what are you doing here? Like, what is this? And she was like, it's a hair salon. And then he like mumbled something under his breath and she then like closed the door and locked the door. That same woman owned another location in Oceanside, which she had to close down because of him. He kept coming in and making her feel unsafe. Another lady wrote on Facebook that she recognized him as a man that literally robbed her sister of all the cash in her purse. So this is not the first time he's gone after a girl. There is a case filed against him. We're still waiting for an update, but it's been 12 days and I would like to get this guy off of the streets of Carlsbad. I have since purchased pepper spray, to which all of my girlies should do. Carry a knife, pepper spray, something,
and stay safe.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys why my boyfriend broke up with me. So for starters, me and my boyfriend have been together a year and a half, and we're like medium distance. We're like 2.5 hours apart while we're in college, and we only got together this summer before we left for college. So it's pretty much just been like medium distance the whole time, except for the few breaks that we get in between. So basically over the summer, I felt like my boyfriend was like way more distant than he normally was. So like one of the things I always liked about our relationship is our friend groups were so intertwined. So like all hangouts, everything like that, we did together all throughout like the first summer we got together. Every break we were back. Like every time we hung out, it was with all of our friends, his friends, my friends, like all of us. Look at this little wheel I have for all my brushes. Hello, she's so cute. But over this past summer, he was just like super distant, like not wanting to invite me to. He has like a second property. His family has like a second property, and they always go for the 4th of July. And for like the year, like before the summer, he had been saying like, I'm gonna invite you. I want you to be there. Like I want you to see my farm, like all of that. And then it happened, and he was like, I don't know if we're gonna have enough seats. Well, I talked to his mother, and I said, are you guys gonna have enough seats like on your like ATVs, things like that? And she was like, yeah, like I don't know what he's talking about. Like of course you can come. Now mind you too, like I was going back and forth in my head, like if he doesn't want me there, like I'm not gonna go. Like I don't want to intrude for no reason. Like clearly, you know, maybe he just wants to like make it a fun thing, whatever. But I ended up going, and I had a lot of fun, and it didn't feel like anything was wrong. Like once I was there, I met a bunch more of his family and friends and things like that, and it wasn't that big of an issue. Like over the rest of the summer, he just got really distant, like not wanting to talk to me about things. Every argument we got in, like it was flipped around on me, and I was told like I was the problem and that I needed to change. So I would do what any person does and say, okay, I'm gonna change. And I was actually implementing that really well, I thought, into my life, like being more gentle when I spoke and like making sure I think about like what I'm saying and whatever. And I like implemented a bunch of that shit into my life, like all of this stuff. Like I was really taking into consideration because we always had such an open relationship like that for like the first 8 months of our relationship. It was perfect. Like we matched each other perfectly. Our personalities matched. We're both kind of like over the top, like angry sometimes. So like we kind of matched in that sense of like, okay, we need to chill, but like we understand each other type of a thing. And so I always implemented that, but it just continued. Like it just was flipping back on me and back on me and back on me. And I was just over it. Now we're skipping back into school. So it is September now. All of that happened in August where he's kind of being distant, not wanting to talk about things anymore, blaming everything on me, whatever. But he's still being like his like goofy, like silly self. He bought me his my birthday gifts, like all of that. Like everything felt fine. So I didn't really like have any issues. And then while he was at school, he started not answering me when he would go out to a bar, or like the other night he would always have an excuse for, oh well, this happened to my friend, like I can't answer, like I'm sorry, whatever. Or he'd be like, oh I just put my phone down, like I can't, like I'm sorry, like I was so drunk, I had this many beers, like I didn't even think about it, or you know I was doing this and we walked back and I didn't think you'd care, like that type of thing where it was just like it wasn't often, but it happened like 2 or 3 times, and I was just over it. I texted him and I was like, what is going on? Like why are you being distant? Whatever. Now skipping forward a little bit, he had to go home because his college is like, in order to get into the town from his college, you have to get on the highway, and this is like a pretty big fucking highway. And one time he was driving back, and some guy hit a tire that flipped over that guy's car, hit the front of his car, and it dented like his bumper. So he took his car home to get a rental car, and that was at the beginning of September. Now mind you, he's 3.5 hours from our hometown. Like we went to the same high school, whatever. So he's 3.5 hours from our hometown. He passes by my college to get home. Well, we didn't like, our schedules didn't align the first time he went home to get the rental car, but when he was going back to get his car and coming back to his school with his actual car, our schedules aligned. Like he could have stayed the night. It was always a thing that like on the weekdays if we had extra time, like and our classes weren't super early, he would stay the night. Like it wasn't that big of a deal. So I was kept asking him, like my big thing is I don't want my hopes up. If I get my hopes up, like I will not be able to like think about anything else, especially if plans change. Like I will just be upset. So I was like, don't get my hopes up. If you're only gonna come and stay for a couple hours or like an hour or two and then go back to your school that night, I want to know. Like I want to know. Don't tell me anything different. He kept saying, well maybe I don't know yet. Like we'll see. So in my head I'm like, oh damn, like he's actually gonna stay the night. Like this is great. I haven't been able to see him at my school in a while. Like whatever. No. Day up does exactly what I thought he was gonna do. Driving past my school, says, oh no, I'm actually staying a couple of hours. Like I can't. I'm gonna go back to my school tonight. Like whatever. So now I'm really upset. I am sobbing, like fuming in my car. I'm like, this was the one thing I told you don't do to me. Like my hopes are up. Now I'm just gonna be sad. I told him like, just go back to your school. Like leave me alone. Like whatever. Like I don't want to have you here tonight because I know I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna ruin the hangout. Now this is where I say my emotional regulation needs to kind of control itself a little bit because I fully kind of went off. Like everything, I wasn't being mean, but everything that like I was upset about, I fully blew up on him. I was like, you've been doing this at the bars, you haven't been answering my texts, and you keep forgetting to say goodnight, and you keep this, and like blew everything up. And so he's like, I'm coming over, we're gonna talk about it. So he comes over, and this is kind of where I start seeing like actual changes. Now, mind you, I'm waiting an hour for him to, that was a lot. I'm waiting an hour for him to drive to my school. So I'm just sitting here sobbing, like talking to my friend, like my roommate about it. Like, what do I say? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm obviously super upset about this. Like, but I do feel like all of this is true and I just want to talk to him. It feels like he's distant, whatever. Like, I was just really scared that like something was off with him. And he gets there and I'm sobbing when he comes in. And, oh my God, I fucking can't. So he comes in and he sits down on my bed and is trying to act normal, like trying to talk about other stuff. And I don't want to. I want to talk about what the fuck I was upset about. And he basically tells me that I'm trying to manipulate him into staying because I'm crying. And I said, I don't want you to stay. Like, I don't want this to make like a whole big thing. Like, if you feel that like you're not gonna be able to wake up for your classes tomorrow or whatever and drive back, like, then that's fine. But like then don't say, but I'm obviously gonna cry because I'm upset about everything. Like I feel like you're distant, whatever. And he basically told me that I was selfish for not thinking about him and his academics and having to wake up early. Mind you, I stayed at his school Sunday night into Monday that same damn week, and I woke up at 7:30 and drove back for my 10 a.m. class. And I'm in season. He's not even in season for his sport, and he has a broken collarbone. So he's not practicing in fall ball. He's not in season, and we have the same amount of classes. And he doesn't work. I work, and I had to do all of that on Monday. I drove, whatever. So I basically just say, okay, like. Whatever, he goes back to his school. I'm just sobbing the rest of the night, and I write him a 5-page note because that's what I have to do. I have to write things out before I can like fully talk about my feelings. And I told him the next day, I said I want to talk to you because this is not going to be off of my mind. So we get on the phone the next night, and he is just absolutely like checked out. Like I read him the full page note. He said, I don't know what you want me to say, and I said, just say what you're thinking. Like if you have any doubts about our relationship, like please just let me know because I can't be with someone that has like doubts about our relationship. But I think like we're so perfect together. Like we can work shit out. Like I think we'll be fine. I think we just need to go back to what we were doing last year, like being actually like confident in one another and like happy with one another. So he kind of stops and he drops this bomb, and it's just like, well, I went home and talked with my parents, and I just don't think our futures align, and we just have different things we want. Now he's bringing up arguments I had with my dad, saying because I wanted 3 dogs instead of 2, like he wanted, or because I might have to move for my job, which I don't even know, by the way. Like I don't know what job I want. That is completely out of left field. Like bringing up shit that I told him months ago that he just like locked in his back fucking pocket. He brought up crazy behavior. Anyways, come back for part 2 because it actually just gets crazier and he just gets meaner. So
I was was essayed by my oldest brother at 17 years old, and I think I'm finally ready to tell my story while I do my makeup so that I don't cry. Trigger warning, I'm going to be talking about some pretty explicit and traumatic details that may be triggering to some people. So a little background first. I have 3 older brothers and I am the youngest and the only girl in my family. My life growing up was pretty traumatic, to say the least. My dad was very abusive and put hands on my mom all the time in front of all of us, and he was very abusive to my brothers too and put hands on them a lot. It's a very traumatic household growing up. Me and my brothers were actually pretty close. At one point, I was actually the closest with my oldest brother, who did what he did to me. He had this girlfriend when I was in elementary school named Taylor, and she was like the sister that I never had, and we would go camping together. We had really a great friendship. My brother, after that relationship with that girl, just completely changed. He was no longer the same person. He started dating another girl and started doing heavy drugs, and then after that phase he just kind of got God crazy and just started preaching a lot about the Bible and God, and that's all he would talk about, which was weird to me. I definitely believe in people finding God after going through a hard time in their life, but I don't think after what this was. He became a very dark person, and I'm not really sure how to explain it better than that. So when I was 17, my best friend at the time was going to Miami and I really wanted to go with her. I wasn't making great money at the time, so I asked my brother if I could put the flight on his card, and he said that he would do that for me. I had paid him back almost everything except for I think maybe $25-30 that I had still owed him. That will become important later in the story, but just keep that in mind. We were in my room gardening together because me and my brothers all gardened together growing up. My parents gardened and we all gardened too. And so we were in my room gardening, and this was not abnormal. This was not weird. Like I said, me and all my brothers, even me and my dad, would garden together. I look back on that part of my life a lot, wow, everyone told me oh my gosh, you have 3 older brothers, you must be so safe and they protect you so much. And it's funny because I never would have thought that I would have needed protecting from my brothers. Anyways, so we were in my room gardening and we were watching a movie and I fell asleep on my bed, and he was in a chair, I think, or maybe he was sitting at the end of my bed, I'm not really sure, I don't remember, but I fell asleep and I woke up to his hand down the back of my pants, and he was continuously, I could tell, it was a split second where I didn't know where I was or what was going on, as soon as you wake up, and his hand was going further down the back of my pants towards my private area. This is the part I struggled with my whole life, because he didn't necessarily do anything. I got up immediately and was just what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is going on? And I ran to the bathroom, which was right next door to my room, and I locked the door and I cried and I hid in there for hours. I don't really remember what happened after that. I eventually came out and I didn't tell anybody for a couple months. A couple months later, he was asking me if I could come downstairs to talk to him. And at this point, we were on the same working schedule. My mom was always gone and my other brother was almost always gone. So it was just me and him in the house all the time. So he had asked me to come downstairs to talk to him. I didn't really feel like I had a choice. And so I went downstairs to talk to him, and he proceeded to show me a lot of girls' clothing and makeup, and showed me that his toes were painted red, and basically was saying that he felt more comfortable in women's clothing and that he had been wearing makeup. I had noticed he was walking around the house a lot in an old pair of my leopard print leggings, and it was kind of weird, but I was just okay, well, I already knew he was kind of weird, so I didn't think too much about it. But then he proceeded to tell me that yeah, he enjoys dressing like a woman and that it made him feel better about himself. I don't know. He also told me that he bought me a dress from the thrift store. It was a t-shirt dress, I remember, and I was thank you. And he asked me not to tell anybody, and I was like, no, I won't tell anybody. So I didn't tell anybody for a while. So then another day, I'm not really quite sure how long after that conversation that this happened. I'm 26 now, I'm about to be 27, and this happened when I was 17, so almost 10 years ago, and I spent a large portion of my life trying to forget about this. But me and my older brother were really close. So we were going to do something. We were going to hang out somewhere, go do something, and I was in his room waiting for him to get out of the shower so that we could go. My oldest brother, Jesse, comes into the room, the one who told me he was dressing like a girl, the one who had put his hand down my pants. He had come into my brother's room and sat on the bed next to me. Like I said, my brother was in the shower. My other brother, Josh, was in the shower, and so he wasn't there at that moment. So my brother, Jesse, proceeded to sit down next to me and tell me about how I still owed him money from my trip to Florida, and I don't know why this part is more traumatizing than the other part. But he proceeded to sit down on the bed next to me and was talking something about how he doesn't have women in his life and he has needs that are not being met, and I don't even remember specifically everything that he was saying, but basically asked me to be in some type of secret relationship with him. I was just kind of sitting there looking at him like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then he was wearing a zip-up jacket with no shirt on underneath, and he unzipped his jacket and looked me dead in my eyes and said, will you play with my nipples? Ooh, this is where I start getting emotional. So yeah, he asked me that, and I was shaking and crying, and I was texting my brother like, Josh, get out of the shower, get out of the shower, get out of the shower, like, come in here, Jesse's being so fucking weird, like, hurry up and come in here. And while I'm sitting there, I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You're my brother. You're literally my brother. What are you talking about? And he looked at me, and I will never forget the look on his face. He looked at me just like smiling, and he's like, oh, am I? I was like, yes. Yeah, you are. You are literally my fucking brother. Why are you doing this to me? Like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. Come back for part 2.
Get ready with me while I tell you why I think my mom's boyfriend is a serial. So I want to start the story off by saying that my mom is 43 and her boyfriend, he's like 63 or 67. So already weird, but they met, I'm pretty sure, on Facebook. Like, he DM'd her. But whatever, age gaps are becoming more normal now, I feel like, so. But from the start, he lied about, like, everything. I guess the boy thing. Like, he told her he was only, like, 58, and he's actually, like, 63 or 67. He also told her he got his money from being the owner of a gas station, when she later found out that's not true either. And then something happened that, what do you expect? She found out that while they were dating, he was messaging and meeting up with his ex. I'm pretty sure his ex-wife. He also has 0 kids, but was married for, like, so many years. But basically how she caught him cheating was he said he went to this restaurant, and so she called the restaurant and asked, like, if he was there. They told her that he wasn't there. And then she checked his receipt when he was home, and it was, like, dinner for, like, 2 people at a different restaurant. My mom is just like me. Like, we will find out literally everything. I'm actually gonna let you know a little secret. My mom actually didn't even call the restaurant. She just pretended she did and then told him that she did.
but he fell for it. And then he ended up admitting that he was out with his ex. But she, like, stayed after that because she is also like me. And they're still together currently, like, on and off and stuff. But they're, like, about to get, like, married, like, engaged. I'm like... But anyway, so my mom takes care of his mother. That's all, like, old there. It started off subtle, but, like, when he would be there visiting his mom and my mom would be there taking care of her, his mom, like, would drop hints every time he, like, left the room. Like, the one time he went out to get something from my mom's car, and then his mom told my mom and was like, go look out the window. And then she was like, check your car, check your key. So I'm, like, pretty sure he was putting trackers on her. And he also stole her key. He won't admit to it, but it, like, suddenly disappeared. And he can, like, get into places when no one lets him in. I feel like he made a copy of her key without her knowing. But it gets weirder. So my mom would be home alone, and this guy has, like, insane trust issues, but he's also the cheater. It's always the cheaters that don't fucking trust you. Like, my mom would be on the phone with him, and he'd literally just be flirting with another girl, like, on the phone with my mom, and he's flirting with another girl. But one time he said that he was, like, going somewhere, and then my mom found out that he wasn't there where he said he was, and so then he, like, kept trying to lie, but then he ended up telling my mom that he was just embarrassed to tell her that he was sitting outside of my mom's house watching her. What? He was like, I thought you were cheating on me. I was just embarrassed to tell you. I was just, like, sitting out here watching. I thought you were cheating on me. Like, literally told her that he was sitting outside her house watching her house. So all that stuff's, like, weird on its own, but it gets worse. So my mom would be at his house, and there's this one door in his house that is locked, and my mom's, like, asked him about it before, and he will refuse to unlock it. He will refuse to show her. He just tries to brush it off and say, like, it's nothing. And also, when they were laying in bed one time, he, like, opened his nightstand drawer, and my mom saw that he had a pew-pew. And she was like, do you have a pew-pew? And he was like, yeah, it's nothing and stuff. But this door in his house is locked, and my mom, anytime she'd get close to it, he would start freaking out. But then this is the part that really makes me think this. Oh, also, he's, like, super controlling. Like, when we'd be on the phone, they'd be on the phone and I would be at my mom's house, he would get so mad that I'm there. Like, one time he came over, saw that I was there, looked at my mom and was like, well, I didn't know she was here. Like, I'm her daughter? Or I got my mom flowers for Mother's Day, and he came over and he was like, whose are those flowers? Whose are those? I did not get you those. What are those? What are those? And my mom's like, honey, like, those are just the flowers that Allie got me for Mother's Day. Like, calm down, honey. She always talks to him like a fucking baby, and he's crazy. And he was like, And then he had flowers, but my mom was busy, like, cooking or something, and all her hands were full. And he, like, freaked out. He's like, okay, yep, I'm gonna go give these flowers to somebody else. And then he, like, tried to leave. Like, my mom is clearly busy. Maybe you can help instead of being a jerk. But just, like, stuff like that. And then I, like, turned the porch light on, like, on accident instead of, like, the inside one. And then I, like, must have forgot to turn it off because I didn't realize it turned on because I wasn't outside. And he's like, why is this light on? Why is this light on? Why is this light on, Erin? That's my mom's name, Erin. And she's like, I don't even know. Because it wasn't even her. Of course she doesn't know. She's like, I don't know. I must have turned it on accident. No, it was me. I actually turned it on accident. He's just fucking crazy. And he would always, like, there would be, like, a freaking, like, 17-year-old guy worker at the store, and he'd be restocking stuff, and my mom's boyfriend would grab her and, like, hold her and, like, stare. Like, the 17-year-old boy does not want my 43-year-old mother. It was so cringy. Every time I was with him in public, I wanted to go home. But anyway, here's, like, the most insane part. So one day, while my mom was home at his house by herself, and he was out doing God knows what, she went down into his basement, and was looking around in there, probably because she just had a feeling. She like told me she had a feeling. She's literally just like me. And our intuition is never wrong. So she's going through all this stuff, and suddenly she sees like a bunch of like notebooks and stuff. So she opens it, and it's a list of a bunch of girls' names, like their full names, their weights, their heights, their kids, their interests, what they do, what they look like, a description of them. And at this point, my mom is shaking. She took a picture of all these, by the way. And my mom is shaking. She's so scared. In the pictures, it's literally like so blurry because of how much she's shaking. And like, what if he comes home and sees this? But then suddenly she flips the page, and it's her own name. It's her full government name, it's her weight, it's her height, it's her eye color, it's her kids' names, it's literally where she lives, her job, everything about her. So she's like freaking out at this point, as anybody would be. But she hurried and she put everything back, and because he was getting home, so she put everything back, she put upstairs, she ran upstairs, shut the door. But when he got home, she was obviously scared and stuff, but I think she took him to her house, so like if he like, you know, did anything, like she wouldn't be alone at his house. But she confronted him. She's like, why is my name on this? Like, what is all this? And then he's like, that's a different Aaron. Like, that's not you. And she's like, it literally says my 3 kids' names. And then I don't even know what he said after that. He like tried to like just make excuses and stuff. I don't even know. I think he knows he got caught. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think. I think my mom's gonna be the next victim. And he's like, he'll also make empty promises, and he'll be like, I'm gonna buy you this Jeep, I'm gonna buy you this house, I'm gonna get you this ring. He's not done a single one of those things. The most he's bought her is perfume and flowers and teddy bears. He's like all talk. And how are you 67 and single but been married like 3 times? That's a big red flag. And he already cheated and everything else. I don't know, you guys let me know what you think, because I think my mom's gonna be next. Oh yeah, he's also trying to get my mom to get her tubes untied and have a kid with him. I don't think my mom should do that.
Ooh. Oh god. I should call him.
Story time on my first time doing it. So I was freshly 16 years old, and this was all the way back in sophomore year, and COVID was still a thing, but like it's kind of like dying down a little bit. Our school decided if you wanted to do remote the whole entire year, then you can, or you can do both, like half in person and half remote, and I obviously chose half because I haven't seen my man in over like almost a year because of COVID and because of other personal reasons that I will get to in another story time. So our school did like a 30-minute break. Everyone got to do it, and obviously I took that advantage to do you know what. But last night, prior to that whole entire situation, I was texting my man, you know, freaky stuff, saying daddy, and like, so yeah, the day comes, and literally we decided to like walk out of school for a 30-minute break, and then like I think it was like 2 miles on the park that we decided to do it on. Like, bro, we needed to get spayed. Well, I needed to get spayed. He needed to get his fucking baseballs neutered. So yeah, he put on his willy-nilly, like I said, and we went straight to Pound Town, like Sexy Red said. And dude, it was so awkward. Like, doing it the first time, it's so awkward. Like, but bro, it was not in the movies. It was literally so awkward, and I don't like eye contact when doing it. It was so awkward, and I didn't know what to say. I think I said daddy, like daddy harder. Like, what the flip? And we had such a big fear of me getting pregnant, so literally when he pre-frosting all over it, he literally had to whip out another pair of wrapper and then put it on again. Like, bro did it 3 times. Like, it's really not that deep. And guys, don't worry, kids were not near. Like, we weren't gonna do it near where kids were, like, well, if kids were present, because that's gross and weird. And I remember I was wearing a freaking skirt so it can be easy access. I'm like, bro, do homework. What the fuck was with me? But hey, like Gypsy Rose said, the D was fire. Like, I really thought it was gonna be like this. You make me look like it's magic. Like, I literally thought it was gonna look like freaking the movie 50 Shades of Grey. And after that long, like, 30-minute Pound Town session, we literally, there's a McDonald's nearby the park, and we literally went to McDonald's and got Happy Meals because we got the munchies after like the whole Pound Town session. And to this day, I still have like the Beanie Babies that were out that time because I saved it for memories. And don't worry guys, he literally asked for consent. Like, I was ready, he was ready. Yeah guys, we were doing that for literally every time we had in-person classes. Like, what the flip? You could say I was a little freaky girl. So yeah guys, that's literally it. There wasn't really much to it because it was literally our first time. It was awkward, but at least I did it with the right person. Because we're together and it's gonna be our 5-year this month. Well, not this month, next month. Anyways guys, thank you for listening to my yap sesh. Hope you follow me. Hope you liked it. I'm sorry if it isn't funny like last one.
Woke up with a tiny whitehead under my nostril on Friday, and by Sunday, half of my face was swollen. By Monday, my face was swollen so much that I almost couldn't open my left eye. My lymph nodes were swollen. Went to the doctor. The doctor told me to go straight to the emergency room, so that's where I went. Went to the emergency room. They immediately admitted me into the hospital, and they've had me on a very aggressive dose of antibiotics and steroids, just fighting this thing. So now I'm switched back to hot compress, trying to break up whatever's in my face, and I should see the ENT tomorrow. He's gonna decide whether or not they need to cut me open. So if you ever thought a pimple in the triangle of death was a myth, think again, because that shit happened to me, and if I didn't go to the doctor, I might have died. So pay attention to your bodies, be your own advocate, and speak up for yourself. Nobody else will.
I got essayed by my neighbor. This is not my story. When I was in elementary school, one day I got locked out of my house for the first time. My parents weren't home, so I went to my neighbor's house. They were this sweet old couple, and they gladly took me in until my parents got home. They gave me a Diet Pepsi and taught me a card game. They were so sweet. They said that they had a granddaughter around my age and introduced me to her. We became best friends immediately. I'll call her Jane. So me and Jane became best friends. We did everything together. She always spent the night at my house, and when she did, nothing was weird at all. I need to mention that she was older than me, and her body and hormones were more mature than mine. I was a very protected kid and knew nothing about sex at this time. During about a year of us constantly hanging out, she invited me to spend the night at her house. At first, everything was normal. Go to part 2.